Have you ever walked into a room and felt that you were observing the world from a slight distance? As if the frantic energy of the people around you, the rushing, the posturing, the desperate need to be seen, was a game you simply stopped playing years ago. There is a specific kind of silence that comes with being a man over 55. It is not the silence of irrelevance, though the modern world might try to convince you otherwise. It is the silence of the mountain that has weathered the storm. We live in a culture that worships the new, the fast, and the loud. It is easy, in the midst of all this noise, to look in the mirror and see only what time has taken away. The gray in the beard, the lines around the eyes, the slower recovery after a long day. But there is a different currency of value that operates beneath the surface of social media and youth culture. It is a psychological currency. And if you pay close attention, you might realize that you possess more of it now than you ever did at 30. We are going to talk about attraction today, but not in the superficial sense of six-pack abs or flashy cars. We are talking about gravitational pull. We are talking about the magnetic quality of a man who has made peace with himself. There are clear psychological signs that you are projecting a level of masculine authority and allure that you may not even be aware of. You might think you are just existing, but to the observer, you are emanating something rare. Before we walk through these 8 indicators, I invite you to join this quiet corner of the internet. If you find value in these reflections, simply like this video or subscribe to the channel. It helps other men like us find this signal through the noise. Let's look at the first sign. Number 1, the complete absence of performative urgency. Think back to when you were 25. Everything was an emergency. Every silence had to be filled. Every slight had to be answered. You walked fast because you felt you were behind. You spoke fast because you were afraid no one was listening. Now, look at how you move today. There is a certain economy of motion that only comes with age. You don't rush because you know that rushing rarely changes the outcome and often makes it worse. This lack of urgency is incredibly attractive to others, though they may not articulate why. Psychologically, rushing signals anxiety. It signals a lack of control. When you take your time, when you pause before answering a question, when you walk at a measured pace, you are signaling that you are the master of your own time. You are not chasing the world. You are letting the world spin while you stand your ground. This projects a deep, subconscious safety to everyone around you. People, especially women, are drawn to nervous systems that are more regulated than their own. Your slowness is not lethargy, it is weight. Number 2, the ability to inhabit silence without panic. Most people are terrified of silence. It forces them to look inward, and they don't like what they see, so they chatter. They fill the air with nervous energy. You have likely noticed that you no longer feel the need to do this. You can sit in a chair or drive in a car or stand in a line and simply be. When you are in a conversation, you don't jump in to prove you are smart. You listen, and you listen with a depth that is disarming. This is the reflective gaze. When you look at someone and let them speak, you aren't just waiting for your turn to talk. You are absorbing their reality. This makes the other person feel incredibly seen. In a world of distracted children staring at screens, a man who can hold eye contact and hold silence is a rare commodity. It creates an intensity, a vacuum that pulls people toward you because they want to know what you are thinking. Your silence makes you a riddle they want to solve. Number 3, a shift from nice to kind. There is a profound difference, and as an older man, you have likely embodied it. Nice is a young man's game. Being nice is about pleasing others so they don't attack you. It is a defense mechanism. It is agreeable, soft, and often dishonest. You, however, have likely grown into kindness. Kindness is rooted in strength. You help because you can, not because you need approval. You are polite, but you are not a doormat. You have boundaries that are made of iron, but they are covered in velvet. You say no without explaining yourself for 10 minutes. This distinction is magnetic. A man who seeks to please everyone is respected by no one. A man who is kind but firm, who acts from a place of surplus rather than a place of need, commands an immediate primal respect. People feel safe around you because they know you cannot be manipulated. Number 4, the mastery of emotional non-reactivity. This is perhaps the most defining trait of mature masculine psychology. You have seen enough crises to know that the sky is rarely falling. When chaos erupts, at work, in the family, in the news, you do not oscillate with the environment. You have become the thermostat, not the thermometer. When a younger man is challenged, his ego flares up. He has to defend, to fight, to prove. When you are challenged, you likely feel a moment of irritation, and then it passes. You look at the situation with detachment. You assess. This non-reactivity is often mistaken for coldness, but it is actually stability. To a partner, or to younger generations, you become the anchor. They can thrash against you, they can be emotional, and you remain solid. There is nothing more attractive than a man who cannot be easily rattled. It suggests that your internal world is more powerful than the external world. Now, as we go deeper, I want you to consider the subtle shifts, the things that happen in the quiet moments. This is where the true power of your age resides. Number 5, you have stopped explaining yourself. This is a subtle shift, but a massive one. You no longer offer unsolicited justifications for your life choices, your taste, your schedule, or your values. You simply are. If someone disagrees with you, you don't feel the burning need to convert them to your side. You allow them to be wrong or simply to be different. This autonomy is intoxicating to others. Most people are walking around begging for permission to exist. They look to their peers to validate every decision. When they encounter a man who simply acts according to his own code, without apology, it is shocking. It signals high status, not financial status, but spiritual status. It says, I have vetted myself. I approve of myself. I do not need your vote. This makes you dangerous in the best possible way, because you cannot be controlled by social pressure. Number 6, the weight of your attention. When you were young, your attention was scattered. It was cheap. You gave it to everyone, to the loudest person at the party, to the trendiest distraction. Now, you likely find that you are stingy with your focus. You don't tolerate fools. You don't watch nonsense. You don't engage in drama. But when you do decide to give someone your attention, whether it is a woman, a child, or a friend, it is heavy. It is absolute. Because you value your time more than anything else, your gift of time feels like a significant investment. When an older man truly focuses on someone, it feels like a spotlight. It validates their existence. It implies that they are worthy of the limited time you have left. This creates a deep emotional bond that flighty, distracted attention simply cannot replicate. Number 7, the acceptance of your own shadow. By the time a man reaches 60, he knows he is not a saint. You have failed. You have hurt people. You have been hurt. You have likely confronted your own capacity for selfishness, or anger, or weakness. You are no longer trying to pretend you are perfect. This integration of the shadow makes you real. You are three-dimensional. Young men often wear masks of virtue or bravado. You wear your scars, perhaps not visibly, but energetically. You are not shocked by human nature anymore. When someone confesses a mistake or reveals a flaw to you, you don't judge them with puritanical shock. You understand. This capacity for deep, non-judgmental understanding makes you a confessor figure. People tell you things they wouldn't tell anyone else. They crave your acceptance because it comes from a place of knowing the darkness, not just ignoring it. Number 8, competence without fanfare. There is a quiet sexuality in competence, not just in your career but in the physical world. You know how things work. You know how to fix the leak, how to navigate the bureaucracy, how to handle the waiter, how to manage the crisis. But unlike a younger man, you don't do it for applause. You do it because it needs to be done. This is the archetype of the magician or the king coming online. You have accumulated a library of solutions over decades. When a problem arises, you don't panic. You solve it. You handle the logistics. You protect the perimeter. You ensure safety. This creates a profound sense of relief in those around you. In a modern world that often feels incompetent and fragile, a man who can simply handle reality is a rare prize. You are the one who knows what to do when the lights go out. If you recognize yourself in these descriptions, understand this: you are not fading away. You are distilling. You are becoming a more concentrated version of masculine energy. The world may celebrate the bloom of the flower, but the nutrition is in the root. You are the root. It is easy to look at the smooth skin and endless energy of youth and feel a pang of envy. But ask yourself, would you trade your wisdom for their anxiety? Would you trade your stability for their confusion? The answer is almost certainly no. You have earned your face. You have earned your silence. The attraction you generate now is not a flash in the pan. It is a slow burn. It is based on respect, on safety, and on the undeniable reality of who you have become. Do not let a youth-obsessed culture convince you that your time has passed. Your time is now, just in a different key. Walk with that knowledge, let your silence speak, and realize that when you enter a room, you bring the weight of a life lived, and that is something that cannot be faked and cannot be bought. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found something true in these words, leave a comment below. Tell me which of these signs you have noticed in your own life. I read them and I appreciate them. Until we speak again, stand tall.